What's going on, guys? Jurassic Acid here. Today we are checking out My Aunt is a Witch. This game should be releasing November 25th on all platforms. The developers at Sometimes You were actually super nice and gave me a copy of the game to play on my channel, so thank you to them. Let's see what this game has to offer. Through the slumber, I heard voices and the engine's rattling noises. Brickstone Road. It was finally my stop. I opened my eyes and hurried to the exit. As soon as I got off the bus, I took the old Polaroid photo out of my pocket and started to walk along the path. I had to find my Aunt Alice's house using the photo taken 6 years ago. It wasn't an easy task, I must say. No one cared enough to draw me a map. How could my dad draw it for me, with all his very important responsibilities, like going through the jewelry catalogs to pick another diamond ring for my stepmother? So all I got was this old photo taken from when my mother and father visited Aunt Alice. By the way, my father had to prove how much he loved Sophia almost every week, and the prices of the presents were increasing rapidly. This is exactly the reason why I didn't get a new bike for my last birthday. My father just patted me on the shoulder and gave me $5 to get something for myself. I think my stepmother is pure evil. She might be the evilest evil in the entire universe. And I know that my mom, who was smiling at me from the photo, would agree. Her smile was so warm and pleasant, unlike the cold grin of my stepmother. I swear that when I see her putting the meat in the grinder, while watching me with her little sparkling eyes, I sometimes feel the life is in danger. But I am far away and she can't touch me with her long, pale fingers. I've already been here once. When I was little, my mother brought me with her to see her sister. At the time, everything seemed so dreamlike and unreal to me. Aunt's house truly was a magical place, full of miracles. Of course, since I was just a kid, I was imagining things still. I had a lot of fun during my stay. It didn't really matter if it was only a fantasy because I was having a good time there. Gosh. I'm really glad that I left stuffy bus and was finally able to get some fresh air. I couldn't wait to see the place from my childhood. I was wondering if I could imagine something magical now. I walked along a narrow path covered in leaves. It was so nice to walk in the woods with the pleasantly chill autumn wind on my face. The sun was pouring its bright colors from the sky, drawing interesting patterns on thick branches. Magnificent fir trees were surrounding me, and the birds were singing their beautiful songs merrily. This warm atmosphere lifted my spirits, and I couldn't help but smile. It was so pleasant to walk through the forest in peace and quiet, especially after living in a noisy city for so long. Not so much of a wilderness after all, and the village must be close to my aunt's house. We sound like we're completely lost. Last time, my parents and I went there to see the toy fair. My stupid stepmother probably thought she was sending me to live in some kind of dump, but fortunately, it wasn't so bad. Maybe I can even make friends with the guys from the village. Some part of me would like to fall lazily on the sofa and turn on the comedy show with Jay Earl, but I felt like something interesting and huge was waiting for me. Strange feeling for a 12-year-old boy who was just kicked out of the house by a grumpy stepmother. By the way, she herself should sometimes get out of the city and enjoy the fresh air instead of sitting there all day. She's always at home or at work. That's probably why she's so pale, constantly complaining about everything to my dad. For a split second, I paused and asked myself why I ever thought that Aunt Alice would be happy to see me in the first place. Did she suddenly change, grow old, and become just as grumpy as my stepmother? During my last day, my auntie and I seemed to get along well, and we had a lot of fun together, but who knows what was going on in the midst of these adults. Suddenly, I felt my tummy rumbling. The last time I ate was early in the morning. I was given just a couple of apples for the road. The last one was now in my pocket. Groping for a round of green apples, I slowly took it out, bit off a decent piece. So sour. I was surprised that it wasn't poisoned, after all, since it was my stepmother's who gave it to me. What a nasty woman. Yeah, sounds like it. She kicks you out of the house. Here's an apple. Go find somebody else. Well, at least she wasn't here, so I didn't need to listen to her endless comments and complaints. Sit straight, Thomas. You eat like a savage. Elbows off the table. Stop gnawing the pen. My war with her was over. For now. But I was a little worried. What would happen to my father? I guess his relationship with her wasn't bad. He at least didn't have to fear to be tortured with sour apples. Suddenly I smelled something. It came from the depths of the forest. I breathed in the deep and the pleasant aromas of cinnamon boiled condensed milk tickled my nose. How appetizing. The aroma of baked goods coming from behind the trees was so inviting that it turned me into a predator stalking prey. And even though my hunger was still, for now, I really wanted to try Aunt's cooking. I even felt the taste of something sweet in my mouth. God, it smells so good. This is working out pretty well so far. I could have been sent to the Evergreen boarding school for boys from which, according to rumors, no one has ever returned. And the guys at school were telling such frightening stories about this terrible place that it almost turned into one of the most disturbing urban legends of old time. Chasing this pleasant smell, found myself on a clearing. In the distance, there was a cliff, and judging by the photo, the house should be right there, but it wasn't. Not believing my eyes, I took a few steps forward, looking carefully at the photo. There's no trees in that photo. You sure this is the right cliff? That's right. The house should be right here. And suddenly, I saw it. I saw the outline of a house standing on the very edge of the cliff. It seemed to have emerged from air. What a funny picture! It looks like it had been chased there by all these sharp fir trees, but it didn't jump off the cliff anyway. My imagination sometimes likes to play games. Why didn't I notice it at once? Smoke poured from the chimney, and a delicious smell came out of the windows. It seemed I wasn't mistaken, and a great dinner was waiting for me. I didn't even have time to come up to the porch, as the door suddenly swung open. A black cat, with a cookie between its teeth, jumped out of the house. He was followed by Aunt Alice, riding on a broomstick. A broomstick! Colorful sparks were shooting from her hands. What's going on here? I couldn't believe my own eyes. I immediately wanted to run away, hoping to catch up with the bus, but at the same time, I felt like clapping my hands with some strange joy. My aunt laughed so wickedly and viciously that a cold chill ran down my back. You ate all of my cookies, rascal. I'll skin you alive. Just wait till I get my hands on you. Skin alive. Auntie began to chase the cat around the house, firing colorful sparks at him. Various luminous figures appeared around my aunt's every now and then, and I looked at it spellbound. Finally, common sense took over. Of course, this is just a dream. I probably dozed off during the trip. A purple globe ball flew over my head, showering me with bright sparks. My earlier assumption immediately collapsed, and I opened my mouth again in surprise. No, this couldn't be true. It just couldn't. My common sense continued to fight, but it was obviously losing. This is just crazy. I jumped to the place where the glowing ball fell and touched the burnt grass. God, it's hot. Damn it, it's really true? Are you kidding me? My aunt continued to rush for the cat around the house, time after time, flying over the gulf. How is that even possible? Can it be magic? Meanwhile, the cat ran around the house numerous times, but suddenly he changed direction, rushing towards me. I stood still like a statue. In a blink of an eye, this long-tailed creature climbed upon me. I see you found yourself a shelter, rascal. Get down, Thomas. What? Next time, you'll get yourself under control, Grimoire. My auntie aimed her finger at my head, and a red spark flew out of it. See you. With a powerful flow of magic, Alice sent the cat into the depths of the forest, and the fluffy ball disappeared in the leaves. I could have died. You almost killed me. No need to worry, since you are alive, after all. And how could I ever kill my adorable nephew? Is that the hat from Harry Potter? I'm pretty sure that's the selecting hat from Harry Potter, since it's got like the whole same face shape and everything. She beamed at me and came closer, as if nothing had happened. It's been ages. Oh, I missed you, Thomas. I couldn't get over what I just saw. My aunt hugged me so tightly that I almost lost the ability to perceive reality along with the ability to breathe. Auntie, what on earth just happened? That was the most impudent cat on the whole planet, if you're talking about Grimmer, of course. Talking about all those sparks, that broom. Ah, nothing. Witch stuff. Witch stuff. I struggled to suppress a cry of delight. Meanwhile, Alice began to examine me. You become thinner since our last meeting. This nasty Sophia doesn't give you any food? Who cares, Auntie? That was incredible. Why is this such a surprise for you? Didn't your dad tell you I am a witch? Well, he said, but this is... This is real magic. Watch your tongue, young man. But it's really great that you liked it. How are you feeling? The barrier might have taken some power from you when you were getting through it. Is it because of the magic that I didn't see the house from a distance? Right you are. This house is not invisible to those who are not looking for it. And if you are looking for it, it'll immediately show up when you come closer. is. She smiled again. Smelled kind of familiar. I think it's Mom's perfume. Yes, your mom and I had similar taste for lots of things, but unfortunately not for men. She grinned and sighed. It just happened that my boyfriend turned out to be a piece of work and I just had to turn him into a cat. Now he is my pet. Well, don't tell me that it was your boyfriend who was just sitting on my head. She nodded. I opened my mouth even wider in surprise. She turned her boyfriend into a cat. Well, on the other hand, I should calm down. What if she turned me into a bug or a mouse? I put my hands on the table. Or forgot to make my bed, or... Auntie put her hands on my shoulder, interrupting my disrupting thoughts. Don't worry, Thomas. I won't hurt you. I'm a good witch, and besides, Grimoire continues to annoy me even when he becomes a cat, so I didn't give him a tail for nothing. This fluffy bag devoured all the cookies I had baked for your arrival. You might not understand how, but sometimes a girl just has to turn her nasty boyfriend into an animal of some kind. I just nodded. Relationships are not my thing after all. Well, I am only 12. What if one of the girls in my school had told a friend that she had turned a guy into a cat? The next day she would be locked in a cuckoo house. Yeah, probably. Just imagine, flying brooms, cats, that once were people. I wonder what was going to happen next. I still can't believe that this is real. Magic. Of course it is. Real. There's no other. It was very difficult to believe what was happening, especially the part where Auntie claimed to have turned her boyfriend into a cat. But no matter how crazy it sounded, it seemed to be the truth. This is great. Well, except for the cat thing. I think I will like your place. No doubt about it. It's great, Calder. We should get inside. I'll give you some hot tea. Okay. She walked quickly towards the house. I looked back at the forest. What about Grimoire? Hurry up, Thomas. I don't want you to get cold. Oh, and don't worry about this, rascal. He'll be alright. He always finds his way home. We went inside the house and I found myself a pretty spacious hallway with a huge sofa stretching along the wall. There was some pictures on the wall. Toothy wolf skin under the sofa. In horror, I stared at the monster, which seemed like it just crawled from under a child's bed, like some kind of furry boogeyman. Welcome to the witch's house. It is very cute in here, Auntie, I said in a cheerful voice, still looking at the shaggy monster under the sofa. Thank you. I tried to tidy up for your arrival. Remove the dry mice and all the rubbish that was hanging here for years. I want you to feel at home. So, are they hinting at we're staying here? Because I thought we just got kicked out and we just sort of walked this way. With difficulty, I pried my eyes away from the monster on the floor and looked at my aunt. I didn't know you were expecting me. I guess he didn't know either. Auntie put the broom against the wall and smiled at me. Your father told me you weren't getting along with your stepmother, and I suggested that you should come and stay in my place. He agreed. This woman, Sophia, has completely clouded his mind from what he told me. I realized that she was pure evil. So, I told her on purpose that I urgently needed a servant to keep the house clean. Maybe she is a little mean. She immediately suggested I should take you, and began to describe you as an extremely diligent worker. That's kind of cool. She's got a pumpkin up in the top right corner. You would clean and dust the furniture and wouldn't be afraid of any work, and so on. Ugh, what a devilish woman. Apparently she wanted you to live in the worst possible place. That is why I told her that hell on earth waits you right here. She was so happy as if she had won $1 million in the lottery and said that she would send you on the first bus tomorrow. Sophie is really cruel. I think that she is not a human at all, but some kind of beast. Maybe I should put her in my creature book archive. Sophia, a demon eating little boys. Good mood. I chuckled. She sure is. By the way, how old are you? Recently turned 12. Wow, you're not a little boy anymore. Well, most likely I'm not as naive as before. She slightly pushed me with her elbow. And what kind of lucky girl stole the heart of such a handsome boy? I blushed a bit. I think it's still too early for that. For now, I'm mostly interested in books. You mean spells. You want to become a wizard. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one.